Hi everyone, welcome to this week's short attention span webinar. Over there is Connecticut Kelly.
That nickname is not going to stick.
No, definitely not. But we are back. We are back, and again, we're laying down a new round of short attention span webinars. This time, Kelly, we're going to talk about excuses, sales excuses.
I love it.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool. So really, the premise here is I could sell more if, and the first excuse is about marketing materials. So I could sell more if I only had some marketing materials. So let's talk about that. So Kelly, first of all, what are we talking about? What's the squawk?
Typically, I think people are saying they want something in their hands that they can take with them on an appointment and that they can leave behind. Right. Or something that they can mail when what we all know is coming. Well, on the phone and we're making prospecting calls and that client says, just send me something. Wah, wah. And guys, you out there, you want something to send, which we're not going to get into the whole overcoming that objection and all that right now. You feel like you need something in your hands when you go out and make sales calls.
Right.
Some companies out there are doing a great job with this and produce these beautiful marketing materials, and some companies don't have anything. And the truth of the matter is, wherever you fall in that spectrum, you got to just go out and make the sales calls, whatever you have today. And yes, should you be talking about trying to put together some sort of a marketing plan with some materials? Sure, but don't use it as a crutch. Don't use it as a barrier to getting your job done with just going out and making connections.
So what you're saying, Kelly, is it would be nice. We'd all love to have some marketing materials, but it's not necessary. And don't tell me that you can't make any sales calls because you don't have marketing materials.
Correct.
All right.
Absolutely.
So when we're talking about marketing materials here, it's not, an equipment list is very a 1960s sales call.
Yeah, don't.
That's not what we're talking about.
No.
Marketing materials are more, printed, glossy, this is what we do. Here's a picture of our press. Here's a picture of something that helps define you, which is more your brand, isn't it?
Yes, it could be a brochure. It could be a folder where you can put some samples in it. And let me be clear about this. You should have them. Owners of companies, you should invest in this. I would like to see everybody do that. I think it is important to have. However, in the absence of it, you still have to do your job. Right. Now, that being said, there are some things that you could actually do yourself. You could do a case study. You could put together a little PowerPoint presentation. You could do, you really should kind of source it yourself if you're not getting anywhere with the ownership of your company. But listen to us both when we say this. You don't need these things to do your job.
Right. You're getting very Bill Belichick, by the way. You're a good New Englander. Do your job. That's great, man. Welcome to the fold. You're a champion now.
Oh, boy.
In Bill we trust. Sorry. All right, so you also said something earlier when we were talking about this before we turned on the recording. Is you said printers don't do a good job of marketing themselves, and that's bad because part of the message we get out there is, hey, we can help you with marketing. So so there's printed material, online presence, absolutely. I think it would be really nice to have some quick YouTube videos.
Yes.
And what I say to people is, look, it's not complicated. You set up a 4-panel PowerPoint presentation. In the first panel, you say, here's the problem that the client brought us. In the second panel, you say, here was the solution that we offered up. In the third panel, you say, here is the result of that solution. In the fourth panel, you say, here's everything about us. And it's literally talking doing a voiceover on a computer. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be recorded. You throw it up on YouTube, free. And then you have a little clip and a little URL link, and you can stick that in the signature line of your email to say.
Or you can email it to prospects and say, check this out. These things should be 30 to 45 to 60 seconds long.
Yeah.
So again, this is not anything that you have to invest a lot in. Yeah. Another thing would be your website. Mm-hmm. Some really great websites out there, folks, and some really, really terrible websites. Now, you may or may not know that, WordPress as a platform for hosting websites has great themes that are cheap that all you have to do is buy the theme for $75 and go in and personalize it. I mean, it is that simple.
Yeah.
Your kids can probably help you do it, or your next door neighbor or your nephew. But just think, look at everything that you do with your company as if you were a customer of yourself, and say, what do I think of this company? What kind of effort is this company putting forth, and what do these items say about this company? Right. Are they on Facebook? Are they tweeting? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they participating in all of these great tools that are available?
Yep.
And monitor them with some level of frequency. It is not nearly as hard as you think it is.
No, and you do it yourself. You can hire outside help. Not complicated. But again, the point here is, guys, don't use this as a crutch. It's nice to have, but it's a pretty lame excuse to say we need marketing materials. So,
super lame.
That is number one. So next week we will get to an entirely different set of whining. It'll be the wine of the week.
We gotta pour some glasses now, right? You know this.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning, woman.
Okay, Bloody Marys. Jeez.
All right, we'll see you next week. Kelly, thanks very much.
Thanks.
And we'll talk to you next week in another short attention span webinar.